So what I will do is I will collaborate with the concrete and the bicyclist group to give the diversification to them. Facilities gymnasium. Presently we have two gyms, pool. Presently we have five pools and the sporting area. Now the one. Please your time is up. Please continue. Council website and last but definitely not very special Friday. So 48 years have passed and the 49 India witnessed something with the previous 48 years are not able to do so.
साला
So this is
डाउनलोड
a
कर रहा है
continuing
टॉरेंट
state
से,
and growing on
हद
campus
होती है।
for institute. So I would like to continue this glory and make this contribute to legacy. So all things I want to say.
स्टॉप
Thank you.
स्ट्रीमिंग सिंग टू प्रीवियस प्लेयर क्या
So we take a question from the other. So given the fact that you not been a captain and okay, so given the fact that you not been a captain and you not been through the process of grooming a
बीट सीट नहीं
team,
करनी है ना,
how would you ensure or
वो नहीं
how would you
कनेक्ट होता
ensure
ना
that
इससे,
you
इसको
will
उल्टा
have the
घुमा दो,
credibility when
उल्टा हुआ
you
है,
take our captains or
इसको
you
मेल
keep
कर
them
दूँ,
motivated throughout the
मैं अपने
year?
फेसबुक
Why
पे
is
सेंड
it
कर देता
possible to
हूँ।
do? Given the fact that you process was not able to do. So I was the vice captain of my team, and I have been in the captain meeting in place of my previous captain meeting at Harshit Board. So during the tenure of Yuvraj also I have been to captain meeting, and during your tenure also I have been to captain meeting. So I know that what all aspects have been discussed in the captain meeting, and I have been involved in my team for the past 3 consecutive years. I have been asking all the other captains presently, also the ex-captains, that what all things are discussed in the captain meet. So I think that yeah, I definitely can will be able to do it. Thank you. Next question is from the panel. And before we take questions from the panel, I'd like to remind the audience that they have the freedom and
ठीक है,
liberty
यहाँ
to
से
ask
भेजेगा ना वो,
questions to the candidates.
ये
Just
भेजेगा ना,
write it down on a piece of
मैं
paper
इस
and give
डब्बे
it
को
to
नहीं
any of
छेड़ूंगा
the
ना फिर।
volunteers from the election EC, and they'll pass it on to the panel over here, which will judge your question on the basis of the criteria
भाई देखना
based.
पीछे सही आ रहा है सब ये,
So we take questions from the panel right now.
नहीं तो अब क्या हो गया इसको, साला चूतिया।
Hi, Chirag. As you already know, there are very few girls participating in the sports activities in the campus, both weekly and weekend. So, how do you plan to increase their participation?
So one of my points in my manifesto is I included youth club for the very first time in
नीचे हुए,
Kanpur. So
हटो
this
यहाँ
is
से,
the event in
हट
which
जाओ यहाँ
girls
से।
will surely participate because also girls are more fitness conscious. So what I have done in joggers group that I have collaborated with the concrete trainer bicyclist group so that the girls who are concerned about their fitness and all, this will give them a stepping stone. And also informal event like Josh. Josh is probably the most event under the student gym form. So that
ओए
has been continued
यहाँ
and
से
this
हट जाओ सब,
will be conducted as well. So and also workshops, various workshops
यहाँ
like
से चार
scaling
पांच सीट खाली
workshop,
कर दो और
shooting
जगह खाली है
workshop,
साइड पे
and
बैठ
all the
जाओ,
other fun activities are being
तुम भी बैठो,
conducted under the council.
तुम लोग भी
So
बैठो।
I think that these are more than enough events or under which the girls can participate.
इसका नाम क्या
We will
है?
take a question from the audience now. So in case you haven't submitted any question to the panel, you still have a short duration now to frame your questions and send it across to the panel. And we'll ask the questions to the candidate for the General Secretary of Sports Council.
वो जो एक्सटेंशन उसको इधर निकाल दे। वो चेयर से कीपैड निकाल दे खोल के ना।
questions?
अभी ये लाना
Okay, so we have one question over here right now. It's divided into three subparts. Just listen to all of them before you start answering them. What are your proposals for the Taekwondo club to bring it up to a higher level in the institute? And how do you intend to promote it? And thirdly, what about taking Taekwondo to the inter-IIT level? So what are your views and opinions in this regard?
So one of the points I mentioned in my manifesto is that I would like to collaborate my council with UP State Association and District Kanpur District Association. So the Taekwondo activities can be made or can be taken to another level by conducting more and more events collaborating with these two associations, and also about intra-ID, adding Taekwondo to intra-ID. We have a board meeting scheduled in August regarding the intra-ID. So definitely I can prove the point of adding Taekwondo into an intra-ID, because this is also in sports. This is also a Taekwondo is a sports, and
हो गया क्या?
So, another question that we have from the audience is, what is the point of joining joggers club with the bicyclists? What is the point of joining joggers club with the bicyclists? So, this is the question that they have.
yeah, so presently the Joggers Club was being seen by the athletics team members. So during the odd semester, the problem was that the team was busy in preparing for the inter-IT, so the club was not that active. So with collaborating the bicyclists with this joggers group, what it will do that the members of the joggers group will be active throughout the year, and also it will give a diversification to the group. The number of members in the group will increase, and also the activities of the group will be more frequent than at present. So that is the basic idea behind this.
Okay, this is another question from the audience. The question is basically how are you planning to bring more PGs into the picture? We all know that there is a huge talent pool among them, and this might help in improving the sports industry.
Yeah. So for involving EG into a sports event, see, we divide pool like one UG hall and one PG hall. So in Inferno, what we do is we specifically say to all sports secretaries that one team has to be from UG and one team has to be from PG. So this is a as you know, Inferno is an event of a part of a GC. So this is a good platform that PGs can participate. Also, events like जोश होता है आईवीएल होता है आईएफएल होता है पटना लेवल is for the first time where kids can participate, and as I already mentioned workshop will be over the year, so there are platforms that kids can participate.
Thank you. Any more questions?
So, we have one last question.
Please, please stay quiet when the candidates speak.
So we have one last question from the audience over here. It's a more of a philosophical question than an administrative question. How can you make sure that each student is not just playing the game, but is being guided by the coach? So how can you ensure that this is happening?
Yeah, during the campaigning, I came across certain people who told me that they want to learn the sport, but coaches are not ready or they are giving some excuses to teach them. So I also talked to coaches. So what answer that they gave me is that during 6:30 to 8:30, they are busy with preparing the inter-IIT team. So if any individual wants to learn a sport, so he is free to go from 5:30 to 6:30 at whichever sport he wants to learn, and at that time, that particular coach is free. I've talked to coaches and they are ready to coach you at that particular time. Because and in the job description of the coaches, it is written that the first and prime job is of theirs is to prepare the team for the entire. So if you want to learn any sport, you need to go from 5:30 to 6:30. Evening. Evening 5:30.
That's it. Thank you. We have the topic for the Science and Technology Council next.
So we have a request for the audience. If you have any questions, as the manifesto is being presented, please present your question to the panel so it can be scrutinized and then, if chosen, it can be asked at an early hour.
Please be quiet when he's presenting the manifesto and when he's answering questions.
Hello everyone, I am Shivendu Bhushan and I am contesting for the post of General Secretary Science and Technology Council. Having been closely associated with the council for 3 years, I have seen that the council has borders of resources or talent, and I would aim to channelize these resources to create an environment wherein the student has freedom to pursue their interests. I aim to set the council as an integral part of the whole IIT community, including UGs, PGs, and seniors. I also invite involvement with the SNT council from the professors. We have a lot of activities under the SNT council throughout the year, and we need to bring faith to our college on national and international platforms. From my experience of participation in TechFest IIT Bombay, I believe first year students can also be made a part of the teams that go to participate in these kind of technical fests. This kind of participation will promote a free and open culture in the campus and will also help these students to perform better in the subsequent years. On similar lines, I promote participation in international competitions. Recently, our participation in international competitions has not been good, so I propose a separate cell to look into these kind of issues. Usually, second and third year students get diverted from the club, so to keep them engrossed with the club activities, I promote these international competitions. Talking about inter-IIT technique, where our performance this year was very good, I also was part of the contingent and was gold medal for the institute. I felt that the number of events in this inter-IIT technique were very less. So I propose to increase the number of events in these kind of in inter-IIT technique online similar to international competitions. Recently, in the week, I also technique which is the Intra Technical Festival of IIT Kanpur. I promote letter of appreciation to the winners, as appreciation has always helped in constructive growth of the participants. Being an e-club coordinator, I promoted socially impactful projects like best automation to simplify regular hustles in their day-to-day activities. I envision these kind of projects to be put to real use. To help the people of our campus with mentorship issues, I propose an expert center. Expert center will be an online platform where we will have the details of the seniors with their skill sets. With these kind of platform, I feel it would be easy for the students working on certain topics to search for the mentors. To promote unity inside the council, I propose the concept of SNT Vault. SNT Vault will be a new room in which will have components from all different clubs. This kind of room will promote rapid prototyping and concept testing. To fill the gap between technique and technicity, I propose a new competition, hardware hackathon. With this kind of event, I promote the students to think over the existing resources and introduce innovation in hardware around them. And the winners would be awarded and appreciated. I also propose to form a separate cell, UGP, BTP, and thesis guidance cell to assist people with these kind of issues.
You have 1 minute left.
knowledge keeping in the form of self-made video tutorials, documentations, presentations, and lectures would serve as a rich resource for all future SMT enthusiasts. I feel that these initiatives would enable the SMT Council in tapping the talent pool of the campus, shaping them, and providing them with essential tools to help transform the institute to emerge as a pioneer in technical innovations globally. Thanks.
Thank you. We'll start with the questions. We'll take a question from the current General Secretary of this SMT Council.
Okay, so due to the good relationship students in Khana have with the institute authorities, SNT Council has been heavily supported on finance and other matters. As a result, 90% of the SNT Council fund comes from free resources and land, and I hope it will continue as such. But since this relationship depends on need to need, and if by chance SNT Council is not given any fund by free resources and land, how will you tackle such a situation, keeping in mind that the growth of council should not be affected?
As per the current scenario, we are actually in need of the funds from the alumni. But given that we have divided that fund, I would like to prioritize the project available from the SLT Council, which is still a very less fraction of that what we need. That budget would be used effectively, and because of the fundings from the previous years, we have lots of resources available with the club. So those resources would be put, we would need to put in our efforts, we'll have to scratch our minds and think of a way to have the new projects out of the existing resources available. And we can also have interdisciplinary projects with the limited resources we have in that.
Thank you. Next, we take a question from the panel.
Hello. You mentioned something about guidance cell giving guidance regarding UGPs and thesis. Don't you think that providing guidance in UGPs and thesis is the job of your research guide or your thesis guide? It's not actually the job of a SNT council. So don't you think it's a deviation? Point one. And secondly, do you think that you have enough expertise to provide that guidance?
Let me clarify the functioning of UGP BTP thesis guidance cell. We do not aim at helping you with your thesis or guidance. The club coordinators often receive calls from the student community about basic implementation of software or devices which we normally use in our club. So what this cell will help is, they'll provide the necessary guidance on basic steps which we work with. Like, I can cite a personal example. In this summer, two PG students afterwards me regarding basic microcontrollers. So that kind of assistance will be provided to them. All I am doing is I am streamlining this time. I am providing them with a fixed schedule when they can contact the clubs for help in regarding the UGP BT club service.
Okay, thank you. Let me take some audience questions.
So, we have the question from the audience. Every year we see similar projects and events being Every year we see similar projects and events being organized with the council. What steps would you take to push for innovation?
The event which I proposed, hardware hackathon, we plan to have hardware hackathon once every semester. The hardware hackathon which we plan to have in the second semester will be aimed at will aim at improvising existing summer projects of the clubs. The student community will be asked, the specifically the first year students would be asked to go through all the projects available in the club and look for the changes they can make into the existing projects. With this kind of change or mixing of two existing projects, we feel to support the innovative ideas which come out from the student community. Next, recently we are in the practice of copying ideas from different universities. So I plan to have an idea-based event in the same hardware hackathon, wherein the students will have to come up with an entirely new idea. If the idea is found to be copied from somewhere, that kind of practice would be that kind of practice would be discouraged. So with this kind of efforts, I believe that we can cope up with it, we can generate the innovation which we need as a member of the city council.
Thank you. Any more questions?
We have another question. The idea to increase participation in international events is good, but how do you plan to raise the funding required for how do you plan to raise the funding required for competing in such an event?
Can you repeat the question?
So,
Presently, the current scenario in the city council is that we are planning to participate in few of the international competitions to be scheduled in March and September. The funding for this competitions at the initial phase is to be met from the alumni, donations from the alumni. We will propose them as projects under the DORA fund, and from there we wish to get the money. As was the case with FSA in Italy this year, a major chunk of the money was from the DORA fund itself.
Thank you. Any more questions?
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
We move on now. Can I have the nominees of the before we move on, it would be nice if all of you could put your notes and silent. So can we have the nominees of the Films and Media Council?
So once again, we request the audience to please be silent when the candidate is speaking. Thank you.
Chetan, we start.
Hello everyone, I am Chetan Garg. I am standing for the post of Films and Media Council General Secretary. I believe that FNC has the potential to the one of the most powerful council in terms of its reach to the campus students. I would like to make the council a platform where students can feel as being present their views, voice their needs, and be heard by everyone.
in this academic year. The FMC had achieved new heights, and I believe that I can keep up this rising trend and even accelerate it towards making the FMC expand its dimensions and utilize its potential to the fullest. Towards achieving my goal, I have several ideas, and I have divided my ideas into broadly five categories. Firstly, benefits that the FMC can provide to alumni, professors, and even to the institute. Secondly, towards encouraging participation in various FMC activities. Thirdly, enhancing the skills of members of the council. Fourthly, providing them a platform to showcase their skills. And finally, to serve the entire campus community as a vital media and entertainment body. First, benefiting the institute. I will work towards the development of an interactive virtual campus tour. On similar lines, I would also make an institute video brochure showcasing our institute to the rest of the world and putting it on an international platform. I would also like to endorse the concept of research videos. Second one, towards improving participation in FFC activities. I will organize workshops by various IIT alumni in the domain of Films and Media Council. I will conduct introductory competitions during orientation so as to give freshers a flavor of FMC and also set up the post of PG secretary in each club who will serve as the link between PG and UG. I will also introduce short video tips on a variety of concepts made by various council members. For development of skills of various participants, I will organize fortnightly learning sessions in every club so as to promote a continuous form of learning throughout the year. The council will encourage the students to take part in national level competitions to help them with internship opportunities so that they may get a chance to hone their talents and may even begin to consider such skills for career possibilities later. I also propose to collaborate with other institutes, media bodies for projects in photography, journalism, and videography. As an artist, I feel that appreciation leads to the largest satisfaction within me by filling me with a certain sense of pride. I will ensure that members of the council will get opportunities to showcase their talent in weekly newspapers such as ST City, which would have a far wider impact. I propose to publish collaborative literary and photo books through the ITK publication house. I will also set up a permanent art gallery in USEC, which will serve as a landmark in the campus. I will also ensure that a better online presence is set up for the council through mobile apps as well as websites. Journalism. Journalism consists of news, views, and news with views. Towards this, I propose to set up a journalist society, which will consist of three mediums: audio via the radio 90.4, video via the Insight 360, journalism via the student editorial board. I believe that this integration will lead to a more holistic development of journalism throughout the campus. I will create an internal discussion forum for students to voice their needs and discuss campus issues. Films and Media Council is all about nurturing creativity and having fun. The FMC has been screening movies for the entertainment of entire campus community. Taking this to the next level, I plan to screen 3D movies. Also, the monthly film galas where the discussion with professionals will change your outlook towards cinema. From my prior experience in working under every field of films and media council, whether it is photography, filmmaking, animation, design, or journalism. See, I consider myself capable enough in handling the responsibilities that come with the post of General Secretary of Films and Media Council. I can assure you that my experiences and visions will usher an epoch in the history of Films and Media Council. So please vote tomorrow, vote fair, without fear, without favor. Thank you.
Hi everyone, this is Rohit Chaudhary, contesting for the post of General Secretary Citizen Media Council. Citizen Media Council is what I foresee supposed to act as a medium, a strong medium of communication between the students and the students. Hello everyone, this is Rohit Chaudhary, contesting for the post of General Secretary Citizen Media Council. So, Citizen Media Council. What I perceive that Citizen Media Council is supposed to act as a strong medium of communication between the student and the student gym plan. But for that, it has to go a long way. Because the status of council as of now has been developing since last few years, but still we need a lot of development. And for that, the council has to go through a series of transformations. And the series of transformation has to go is firstly promotion, then involvement, and then recognition. So for the promotion part, what I propose is that we could have a spectrum carnival which will go all the year long, and it would consist of course of the spectrum competition, but also it would also contain a FMC fair, a films and media fair where you should go watch a movie, play some games, get some goodies, and see the exhibition which has been settled by all the clubs of the council. So it is a good platform for all the clubs to come together. And this is a thing which has been missing till now. After the promotion part, the involvement. Once the council has been promoted, then we need people to get involved in the council. For that, we'll have to ensure year by year involvement. For the first year, right, what I propose is that when the freshers are held, then we could also have some competition of Citizen Media Council. And apart from the competition, some workshops should be held, like when the practice of the cultural council is going on, we could hold some workshops of Citizen Media Council, and the product of those workshops shall be displayed to the freshers. So this would be a good platform for the freshers to show their talent related to the field of Citizen Media. And for the senior members of the club, we could have some internship project or some other things so that they are strongly held in the council activities. This could be some long-term project of animation or say a long movie that would definitely be helpful for them to be a part of the council as well as for the promotion of the council as well. After we have been promoted and we have some people with us, then what we need is that the work done by the people of the council should be recognized. For that, we have to see that recognition should be at all the levels. That is the hall level, institute level, as well as the national level. For the hall level, we would have some bulletin board. Okay. We would have something displayed on the bulletin board, the work done by all the artists of Business Media Council. At the national level, we could participate at all the national events and the festivals. And for the institute level, we have the frequent promotional videos, as well as we have some publications which are there on the FMC website or the Facebook page of the Business Media Council. So altogether, what I want is to develop the council individually, firstly individually by focusing on each and every club, and then the council as a whole. And for that, think that you should support me, and I give it upon you that if you want to grow that council after 4 years, and if you want that my vision should be achieved, then you have to be quite helpful in participating in all the events of the
truly independent, professional, and immune to influence.
For the journalism part of the Social Media Council, I have proposed that campus inside hobby group should be made, and for that inside,
May for a second, actually, may for a second, I think you didn't understand my question. Actually, my question is that if you become a journalist, then what will be your initiative for the truly independent and immune to influence professional journalism body for the as a whole?
so, before he answers, I would like to remind you that the softbox is being held so that the audience get to know the candidates better. So it doesn't necessarily imply that his answers have to be coherent to your question. So let him answer whatever he wants. You don't have to correct him in the middle. And I'd also like to remind the candidates that no questions will be entertained that are defamatory or slanderous towards the other candidate. Okay, thank you. As I was saying, that as being the journalism part of the Social Media Council, I have some proposals like the Inside Box, which is a new series, new video series, which will be a fortnight campus news. And also, I have some other proposals like in the editorial board, we can have some competition so that we have some participation from the fresher side. Actually, the basic problem in the journalism part of social media council is the participation. Before we talk about having a independent body of journalism, we have to have some people in the campus who are actually interested and motivated enough for this work of journalism. So I don't have a separate body for journalism because uh, integrating many clubs or hobby groups would not definitely be a good objective for developing the journalism part of the social media council. So what I propose is keeping them separated, that is the inside box and the editorial board, and letting them work on their own and developing them from the base, that is from the first year, right? Because till now, people from the senior members have been involved in other activities. So first we have to develop a team, and once we have a team, we could train them, and once we could train them, then we can think of having an independent body. And I also have an independent box forum where people could discuss their issues with each other, and that would truly be independent. Apart from that, it would be authenticated as well by the government.
Please don't do this. Your candidate might suffer. Okay. This is the last warning. If you want to clap, go outside and don't come in.
You have a separate body for journalism, that is Journalism Society. Considering the fact that last time Meander and Vox were combined under the same head, that is the editorial board, and we don't have any issue of Vox this semester, and nobody have a clear idea about the development of Meander. So, how do you expect that putting the three clubs under one head would be a good idea, keeping in mind the past effects of doing that?
Thank you for pointing out this issue. And, I think you have not clearly seen the structure. Right now, I have proposed the structure of journalist society, where there will be two heads, Lord Master, and the all three clubs, like there was audio, radio 90.4, they have their independent three coordinators, and print media, student editorial role. Right now as well, they are also having three coordinates. They'll have same three coordinates. And inside 360, which is new this year in my proposal, we'll also have three coordinates. So, and your question was there was no participation. But the problem in journalism is right now is that there is no holistic culture of journalism in the campus. All three mediums are working independently, and the main advantage of this journalist society is that the root member of journalism, that is reporter, will work simultaneously for all the three mediums, and from which we can save our manpower. Because right now what happens? For the video inside 360, we need use, then a Zapster reporter will go and collect the news, and for the print media, the different reporter will go and collect the news. Right now, from this structure, we are saving manpower. And the second thing, we are also covering more. I mean, we are covering more views. Right now, अभी क्या हो रहा है कि जैसे वीडियो में अब वीडियो जर्नलिस्ट के लिए कोई भी एक प्रोफेसर के इंटरव्यू ले लिए एंड 10-15 दिन बाद ऑडियो या फिर प्रिंट मीडिया भी उसी प्रोफेसर के पास है, तो एक ज़्यादा लोग कवर नहीं हो पाते हैं, वाइड ऑडियंस, वाइड व्यूज, वाइड इंटरव्यूज कवर नहीं हो पाते। तो इसके लिए एक जर्नलिस्ट सोसाइटी है। जर्नलिस्ट सोसाइटी के दो हेड के अंदर तीनों क्लब जैसे पहले काम करते थे वैसे काम करेंगे, लेकिन कलेक्टिवली काम करेंगे एज अ होल, पूरा एक जर्नलिस्ट पूरे कैंपस में ग्रो।
Okay, so now we have a question from the General Secretary of Films and Media Council, Mr. Sohal Bansal.
My first question is to Rohit. You mentioned that you will decrease the number of competitions and try to focus more on quality. On the other hand, you are making or proposing new topics with redundant domains. So my question to you is, how do you manage to handle clash between teams? They are managing two different hobby groups having same domains, where each group will try to introduce its new activities or competitions. And shouldn't we try to focus more on providing more opportunities so more number of people can learn new things and initiate hobbies?
I'm not getting it because could you please first tell me to
Okay.
clarify?
So first, the first thing, each spectrum, can you please open the manifesto? Kranti. On the last picture, scroll down. Okay, stop. The number of competition would be decreased with the increase in specificity, and main focus would be on getting quality entries. So the question to this is, shouldn't we try to focus on providing more opportunities so more number of people can learn and more number of people can pursue their hobbies or their interests? And scroll up. Campus inside box. Okay, so like campus inside hobby group. So as mentioned, responsibility of coverage of key events like Anurag. So this is redundant to what photography club or film club do, and actually it is a main opportunity for new members to learn photography or coverage of any event. So and also if you are making a new hobby group, shouldn't the new teams will be clashing in between and will try to introduce new competitions, which will not reduce the number of competitions. So how will you handle those clashes? Okay, do you understand?
The second question, please elaborate.
Okay. On the one side, you are trying to reduce the number of competitions, but as you are increasing the number of teams and they are having the same domain,
Teams as in the hobby group.
hobby group team leaders or the film club coordinators, photography club coordinators, because they are doing coverage of this, so they will be introducing new competitions according to these domains. So there will be clashes in these teams. Like they want to introduce new competitions. How will you handle those clashes and also reduce the number of competitions doing that?
Competitions, you mean that competitions which are led by every club and hobby group.
Okay, so let's reduce the question. Okay, we will focus on one part only. Shouldn't we try to focus on like increasing the opportunities? Okay.
As far as participation is concerned, because that is your major concern, I guess, that participation level should be much more in spectrum rather than focusing on quality. But what I feel is that if we are having the Spectrum Carnival, which will have the FMC Fair as well as the film festival. Also, I'm talking about the competitions which would be held in the pressure, and after that also we'll have some workshops specific to the festivals as well as the different clubs or the different councils. So having this much participation throughout the semester, now I don't hope that much more people would be there who are not being exposed because since we had a lot of competition and a lot of events in the first semester, so after that having much more number of competitions in spectrum would not be a good idea, and this could also be because I have been the team captain in the Spectrum 12. So I have got that as many number of competitions are there, the focus and the pressure does not go with the pool captain or something like that. The focus and the pressure mainly goes to the first year, right? Because that is what I hope is the major aim of the spectrum, that people from first year right should participate. So, for first year right, we have the competition, participation has already been increased till we reach the spectrum, and now spectrum is a event where we should focus on the quality and not on the participation.
So next question to Chetan. So there is a common pattern in your manifesto. You have tried to consolidate things. Like you have consolidated movie production house into film club and the radio that was an independent hobby group into the general society. So do you think this process or this proposal have any new advantages, or what is your ideology behind it?
Actually, right now, as you last year proposed movie production house, but this year we didn't get any output because both movie production house and film club are doing the same thing. They are making movies. So my proposal for the movie production house is, if you can, in the film club. I'll appoint a production team under the movie production house. And because they are doing the same thing, what film club will do, they are producing movie. But for a year-long project, for producing a long project movie, I'll appoint a production team that will cater all the pre-production to post-production work. So that's why I have actually merge this movie production into the film club. And for the radio, right now my main focus is on journalism to grow the journalism in the campus as a holistic. So I have merged all the three mediums in journalist society.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move on to the panel questions. And you please keep your answers under 2 minutes. And as far as possible, please don't ask the questions.
I'll like Rohit to answer first, then we'll move on to Chetan. For the second question, we'll go from Chetan, then Rohit. The first question is, this is to first to Rohit. What do you believe is the role of media in the functioning of students' gymkhana, and then secondly, an academic institution like IIT Kanpur, and thirdly, the nation? You have to answer all three parts in brief. In brief. What is the role of media in students' gymkhana? Secondly, an academic institution like IIT Kanpur, and thirdly, the nation as a whole.
As far as the role of media, student Gymkhana is concerned, student Gymkhana's activities are not much clear to the campus Jalsa. And many things happen that is done by the executives and as well as the senators, and those things are not clear as why they have been done and what exactly have been done in the campus and for their benefit as well. So that is the role. And then coming to the
IIT Kanpur or any
coming
general
to
academy.
for IIT Kanpur, there are many things like the construction work which has been going on, and many other issues which has been arising in IIT Kanpur. So these are also not clear to the campus community. So like we can have the example of the new LSC which has been constructed. So if a question is arise that why the new LSC has been constructed separately and not above the already existing LSC, so this question would not be clear to the most of the campus. So questions like these would be clear within the meeting. And then that nation. So, for the development of the nation, people need to have good communicating skills as well as they should know that what is the role of designing and the artwork in their life. So, like groups like lifestyle hobby groups and the design club, they help the people a lot for developing these skills.
Media, actually, for students in Ghana, like as a media, there is a journalist body as I have proposed. So, in because अभी क्या होता है कि बहुत सारे लोगों को सेनेट के बारे में पता ही नहीं होता कि सेनेट में क्या क्या हो रहा है. तो सेनेट मीटिंग स्टूडेंट्स जिमखाना की जो भी एक्टिविटीज हैं उनके बारे में अवेयर करना मीडिया का काम है. स्टूडेंट्स जिमखाना के लिए सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट. एंड उसके अलावा अभी तक कई सारे जो भी एग्जीक्यूटिव्स हैं, जो भी इलेक्टेड बॉडीज हैं, उन इलेक्टेड बॉडीज में कोई भी क्वेश्चन पब्लिकली पब्लिक का ओपिनियन लेने के लिए कोई नहीं, तो उसके लिए एक मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म होना चाहिए. So that's why I proposed journalist society, under which I proposed this reviewing concept. And for academic institute, journalism and all those in सारी activities, journalism से your communication skills, your writing skills, your personality develops. So there's a need of a media in academic institute as well. And as a nation, in the nation like अभी अपने कैंपस में भी कई सारे सोशल इश्यूज हैं लाइक चाइल्ड विद लेबर एंड एम्प्लॉयमेंट, और भी कई सारे इश्यूज हैं जिन पे हम कैंपस कम्युनिटी को कैंपस कम्युनिटी को जो भी स्टूडेंट्स हैं उनको डिस्कस करना चाहिए. तो उसके लिए एक मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म होना चाहिए. दैट्स व्हाई द मीडिया इज इम्पोर्टेंट एज फॉर nation and in academic institute as well as students.
The second question is, how will you tackle the lack of workforce in journalistic bodies that exist already?
Right now, all the journalists, as I proposed, right now all the journalist mediums are working independently. और अभी क्या होता है कि तीनों इंडिपेंडेंटली वर्क कर रहे हैं, तो एक ही काम तीनों करते हैं.
So you're coming to the unification of the journalistic body.
The journalistic body, if they will come under a body, journalist society, then they उससे फायदा ये होगा कि तीनों डिफरेंटली काम कर सकेंगे और ज़्यादा एरिया काम कवर हो पाएगा और लोड कम हो जाएगा.
What I have about this is that Meander was a separate body and Vox Populi was a separate body. So combining them reduced the responsibility for each one of them, and that is why
the participation decrease. And for increasing the participation, what I suppose is we will have to go to the first year right first, because if people from above second year right are involved in all other activities, so we would have some journalists for from the first year right, and then we could extend that trend to 3 to 4 years where we can have a well developed team. So that is it.
Do we have time for audience questions? Siddharth, would you like to?
So, so we have 3 questions for the audience. Two are specific, and one is a very generic question. So the first question, which is addressed to both of you, is how will you arrange for the pre-movie screening, and why could it not be arranged till date? So, Chetan.
I have proposed in my manifesto for this 3D movie, and for this there is a red and shine technology. Before putting this into my manifesto, I have talked to 6 to 7 companies, and there is called a red and shine 3D print that can be projected by a 2D projector, and so that we have a glass of can to 15 rupees, and so there will be a one-time investment of around 10,000 to 15,000 rupees only, and we can showcase 3D movies.
So, Rohit.
Red and tag technology is the only technology with which we could project these kind of movies by the least of the budget included. You may be knowing about the 3D YouTube as well. So that is the same fundamentals which are available, which are applied to this kind of 3D. We just want the glasses, and we have 3 layers of it: the actual layer, the tan colored layer, and the red colored layer. So that is how it gives the perception of 3D view. So that is.
So the next question is addressed specifically to Chetan. We have seen PG secretaries in clubs from the other councils, but we are yet to still see PG secretaries in any of the films and media clubs. So what will be the steps that you will take towards increasing the PG participation in your tenure?
Can you repeat the question? I couldn't hear.
So basically, the question is pertinent to the participation of PGs in your council specifically. So what measures and steps would you take to ensure greater participation of postgraduate students in your council?
ओके जैसे लास्ट ईयर मैं जब फोटोग्राफी क्लब का कोऑर्डिनेटर था, तो मैंने पीजी हॉल्स में पीजी स्टूडेंट से ही वर्कशॉप करवाई थी। उससे फायदा क्या हुआ था, ज़्यादा पार्टिसिपेशन आया और बहुत सारे पीजी स्टूडेंट से ही वर्कशॉप लेने में इंटरेस्टेड थे, और बहुत सारे पीजी स्टूडेंट्स का पार्टिसिपेशन आया। और उसके बाद वर्कशॉप के बाद ही लोग डायरेक्टली यूजी स्टूडेंट्स या यूजी कोऑर्डिनेटर से कम्युनिकेट करने की बजाय उन जो पीजी स्टूडेंट्स थे जिन्होंने वर्कशॉप दी थी उनसे कम्युनिकेट कर रहे थे, क्योंकि देयर इज अ कम्युनिकेशन गैप बिटवीन पीजी एंड यूजी स्टूडेंट्स। सो विद द पीजी सेक्रेटरी वी कैन ब्रिज दैट गैप।
So the last question that we have is addressed to Rohit. It's broken into 2 parts, and it's a very important question we feel over here. How and why do you plan to dissolve the unified design team? So just think about it carefully before you answer this question. How and why do you plan to resolve the unified design team?
Firstly, coming to how I plan to do this. What I have till now is that I would be dissolving unified design team and again producing the design club which has been going through till now. And the major problem that would be coming in this would be that firstly the nominations for the festivals have already been called and no design head has been there. So for that, we'll have to call renominations for that. I understand that well, and this would affect the festival as well. But I'm sure that this effect would be negligible as compared to the effect which we would face if we do not dissolve the unified design team. That would be how this is done would be considered would be answered in the next part, that is why I plan to resolve the 25 design team. So the basic aim of the design club is to develop skills in the students of IIT Kanpur, the communication designing skills, and help them to develop some amount of artwork which could be displayed in the campus also. But the unified design team forces them to stick to a theme, also a council, and then produce some designs. And if you say that those people will also be responsible for developing other designs or developing artworks also, then this would not be possible as we could have as bigger team we could have, but the but handling the designing of all the festivals, we have three festivals, which almost have 5 to 6 people in the design team, and then we have almost 25 other clubs in the IITK. So that would also have one design person each, for each club. So having 40 people, a design team of 40 people would not be that easy to be manageable, and that would also has to be managed by only two heads. And if we are not able to gather 40 people with that enthusiasm that they are ready to work year long, then we would be doing all the festivals of IIT Kanpur. And we always know that day by day the enthusiasm goes down of all the people who are working hardly. So technically would be the festival who would be suffering the most of all the three festivals. So that is the vision behind why I have planned to resolve unified design team and stick to the design club. But the doing welfare of all the festivals and the clubs is also our duty. For that, specific workshops for all the festivals and specific workshops for all the clubs will also be held, so that designing according to that theme or that genre can be done easily by the team which they have already appointed for their design purpose.
Before we move on, we will announce winners of the Vote Express competition. Basically, this was there were two competitions, the poster competition. So the OG and the finalists, OG teaching and women. Settle down, please. Okay, so we request everyone who started right now to please settle down. There are a lot of newbies who have come into the auditorium right now. Yeah, so we request you to please settle down. In the event that if you are sitting down and you still are very noisy over, the proper answer to your will start outside, please. Thank you. So just quickly announce the winners of the poster caption competition.
Okay, let's start. This is an announcement for all the candidates. All the candidates. Okay, let's start. These are the nominees for the post of Secretary of the Cultural Council. So we'll start with John. Please start.
Hello everyone, my name is Shalini Manora and I'm contesting for the post of Children's Secretary Cultural Council. I've been in this council for almost 3 years. I've led, researched and grown personally. About a month back, when I tried to define culture, I came up with a very easy definition. What exactly is culture? Then I realized that culture is not defined by you, me, or a particular group of people. Culture is defined by each and every person residing in this IIT Kanpur campus. सबकी कल्चर की समझ सबकी कल्चर का आइडिया अलग है एंड फॉर मी कल्चर इज अ ब्यूटीफुल फ्लावर ऑफ ऑल दीस आइडियाज कल्चर का मतलब सिर्फ लड़कों की प्रैक्टिस ही नहीं कल्चर का मतलब डिसिप्लिन कल्चर का मतलब सिर्फ स्पीचेस या टॉक्स ही नहीं है। कल्चर का मतलब कल्चर का मतलब सिर्फ कॉम्पिटिशन ही नहीं, कल्चर का मतलब साथ मिलकर चलना भी। दिस इज हाउ आई एनविजन कल्चर। Today, what saddens me is that somehow in the multitude of events, the Cultural Council organizes we have lost touch with most of the campus behavior. The Cultural Council just does not exist for the functioning of the six clubs or a particular group of people, those who are involved and play long hours. But also, Cultural Council is for each and every person. My council, there are something for everyone from busy to the free. And that is what I intend to do. Currently, the only way to be associated with the cultural council is to be a part of one of the six clubs of cultural council. That is what I wish to change. And I intend to do it by the following proposals. We have conventionally had only workshops, so I am proposing regular classes for music and dance twice every week. I have already talked to the teachers of the faculty club, and they are ready to help me out in whatever way possible. Let's get funky. We all move around in the world, making parodies, spoofs, random shapes, and whatnot. I intend to reward people for making these videos. The idea is to bring out the hidden talent within your race. For people who cannot spare much time, I propose to have events which take less than a few hours. Quilling, hand painting, rangoli making, origami, and the like. We could culminate in an exhibition. Bonfires and Dakshi are events where you can just turn up for a one-trip night of relaxation. Truth One is an event in which the non-performing clubs will organize events for the entire campus community. The students can dress up as comic book characters and celebrate comics. The club rooms will be set aside for at least 2 hours every week, so that anyone can pre-book their own night at the club. I envision a council where each and every student has a say in the functioning of the cultural council, and that is why your opinion matters. And I intend to take regular feedback from the students about the functioning of the council through the Facebook page. Being a student of IIT Kanpur, we have the credibility, resources, and opportunities to help the society in some or the other way. And I have a very simple approach to do it. Each club, when my tenure starts, will give a proposal in the starting of the semester to collaborate with some NGO in some or the other way and help the society. Be it fundraiser, community service, or simple quiz to raise awareness. The idea is to help the society in any way possible. And for the people who are already involved in the council, I intend to introduce annual awards. This is to admire the hard work they put in the council. The cultural council underneath will encourage your enthusiasm, will appreciate your talent, and will value your time. For once, let's start thinking of cultural council as something that you believe in, something that you grew up with, something that you enjoy. All I wish to do is help you live your definition of culture. Thank you, everyone.
Yes, sir.
For some, hobby is fun. For some, hobby is perfection. We all Hello, good evening, all of you. My name is Kshitij Agarwal, and I am contesting for the post of Cultural Secretary. For some, hobby is fun, but for some, hobby is achieving perfection. We all have a hobby, but of one type or the other. It could be anything. It could be creating something new, or it could be messing up with the existing. It could be creating some calm music, or it could be rolling. It could be performing or rolling dance performance, rocking dance performance to strong music. Now, if we stop and think for a moment, we will realize that we all are caught in a web of responsibilities and engagement. The point I want to make here is that in the battle of the preferences, most of the time, hobby falls into abeyance. As a candidate contesting for the post of General Secretary Culture Council, I believe that Culture Council is a platform by the students and for the students, with the motive of helping all to pursue their hobbies and interests and learn something new with it. Some issues which I think need attention are the concerns of bringing in participation and innovation in various activities.
We request whoever is creating a fuss over there to kindly leave the premises right now. Okay, we have a request from the Chief Election Officer. So I think we have we apologize for any inconvenience caused. So, Ship will continue with his manifesto. Thank you.
After this, some issues which I think need attention are the concerns of bringing in participation and innovation in various activities. I believe that if you want to do something, do it with different perspective. For all this, I propose a modified structure of council with a provision of advisory committee and board members which will help in bringing more participation. Talent hunt and workshops are to be introduced at the all levels so that more people get the opportunity to come out and learn. More emphasis is to be given on learning as well as innovation and originality in work to be promoted. Structure of events can be modified to bring in quality rather than just quantity. Document processing is to be centralized so as to reduce the workload of students. Reusing and recycling is to be focused upon. More internal collaboration will be promoted. Council will also strive towards bringing in appreciation and recognition to the students. Annual hobby group is proposed and other debating activities will be emphasized on as it is helpful in personality development. This is a glimpse of my proposal. Hope you all agree with my vision. Let's all make the best choice. Thank you.
Good evening, this is Vipin Gupta and I'm contesting for the post of Cultural Secretary Student Gymkhana. My vision is that Cultural Council should have a broader perspective. It should reach to each and every individual. For that, I'll be working on three things. First is personality development. The culture of the institute should be conducive towards your personality development. Each and every individual should have good communication skills, activism, awareness. Second is work environment. I'll give you an example. जब कोई भी कंपनी जापान की किसी बंदे का रेज्यूमे देखती है, and what is the first thought जो उनके दिमाग में आता है कि ये बंदा हार्ड वर्किंग है, क्योंकि वहां का वर्क कल्चर ऐसा होता है। ऐसे ही मैं चाहता हूं जब हम आईआईटी कानपुर का बैनर लेके बाहर जाएं, तो people outside should have this preconceived notion that we are professional, disciplined and innovative. और वो यहाँ का work culture ही है। Third thing which I'll be working on is interaction and exposure. Interaction on two levels: faculty and student interaction, UGPG interaction. क्योंकि once we guys will interact and start working on common projects, तभी we'll get this holistic environment अपने personality development के लिए, rather than a materialistic approach. With this vision, the first step which I took is I made my Gymkhana calendar concise. Instead of having separate drama, musical extravaganza, fine art extravaganza, we'll be having two intra-institute festivals, Sharad and Shishir, one each semester. Thus, our Gymkhana calendar will be concise. Second thing is an appreciation award ceremony. अभी क्या होता है, जो जितने भी लोग क्लब में परफॉर्म करते हैं उनके लिए अप्रिसिएशन क्या है? आसपास की जनता ने देखा, तालियां बजा दी, हो गया अप्रिसिएशन. So I propose that at the end of my tenure we should have this appreciation award ceremony, जिसमें we'll be giving awards to all the club participants categorically. In the same award ceremony we'll be appreciating our faculty counselors and faculty advisors. Next thing is learning tools. According to me, all the cultural councils should go on education tools. जैसे कि दिल्ली का एनएसडी थिएटर फेस्टिवल, लखनऊ महोत्सव, जयपुर का लिटरेरी फेस्टिवल, not as participants but as audience, so that we get to interact with the eminent personalities and we get a better exposure and can adapt the outside trend. The next thing is hobby groups. I am proposing for two new hobby groups. First is a discussion and debate hobby group. जितने भी लोग politically active topic पर discuss करना चाहते हैं या civil services के लिए prepare कर रहे हैं, ऐसे लोगों के लिए I am proposing this discussion and debate hobby group, which will discuss on these politically active topics and circulate its data through newsletters and videos amongst the IIT के जनता to promote activism, क्योंकि अभी काफी passiveness आ गया है लोगों को. The next is the classical and folk hobby group. We have different communities in our institute. हर एक में अलग-अलग classical performers होते हैं. So why not club these classical performers together so that they can get a better time, space, and can compete in different events. Next is broad-based activities. Since मैंने अपना जिमखाना कैलेंडर कंसाइज कर दिया है, I will be organizing more non-competitive interest-based events like an open mic event. You guys will be there and everyone will be coming there and the stage is open for everyone. Impromptu dance performance, poet, music performance, anything. It's just to promote more innovation. Next thing is PG participation. I propose that each club should have at least one PG performance in the whole year. Next is faculty and student interaction. I propose club advisors for each cultural club. मेरे manifesto के last page पे you can see there's a list of all the faculty relatives and faculty spouse जिन लोग अलग-अलग cultural field में experience हैं. We'll be having such people as our club advisors so that we get better exposure and we can adapt to the outside trend. Next thing is ethnic day. We all have our traditional dresses जिसको पहन के identify with our culture. So I am proposing for this ethnic day जहाँ पे we will be performing with the faculties on common stage so that we can interact better. The last thing is an accountability forum. अभी cultural council की website update हुई. I am going to add an online accountability forum जिस पे you can ask your cultural secretary anything you want to ask and he will be answerable and accountable on online media. Thank you.
Thank you very much, very gracious. So, we have one round of cross questioning right now where each candidate can ask the other two candidates one question per candidate. So that means he can ask one question to each of you and so on. Alright, so we'll start with Shalin. You can ask your two questions to each of the candidates. I mean, in whichever order you like.
My first question will be to Kshitij. Your manifesto has a lot of big proposals and statements like learning new skills in summers. What new skills exactly are you going to learn? Who will teach them? Or the original events? Same question. What original events? Impromptu events? Dance painting? Is it even a thing? And lastly, how will you implement off-campus stage shows? I mean, who's going to pay for it and how the campus? Why should the campus community pay for it?
So I will be starting with the first question that the concept of originality. What I am trying to focus is on that हमारे अभी तक सारे जितने भी हमारे ये क्लब हैं इसमें ज़्यादा चीज़ें ओरिजिनलिटी पे फोकस नहीं किया जाता. चीज़ें बनती हैं, ठीक है, 5 जगहों से 5 जगहों से मर्ज किया जाता है और एक नई चीज़ प्रोड्यूस कर दी जाती है. जो पॉइंट मैं यहाँ पे एम्फसाइज करना चाहता हूँ कि मैंने उसमें जगह बता रखी है, पॉइंट आउट किया हुआ है कि क्या क्या ऑप्शन है ओरिजिनलिटी प्रोड्यूस जस्ट लाइक तुम्हारे न्यू स्किल्स हम लोग सीखना चाहते हैं उसके लिए क्या क्या ऑप्शन है हमारे पास। तो समर्स एंड विंटर पीरियड हो गया और इसके अलावा हमारे पास अंतरालीय गैलेक्सी पीरियड हो गया। इस टाइम पे हम लोग नई नई चीजें सीख सकते हैं। अब वो जरूरी नहीं है कि आपको उसमें कोई नई स्किल इंप्रूव करानी है, आपको बाहर में कोई इसके लिए वर्कशॉप करानी है। आप अपने विद जो आपको स्किल्स नॉन स्किल्स हैं उसमें कर सकते हैं। जस्ट फॉर एन एग्जांपल, अगर आपको डांस में सपोज आपको एक फास्ट म्यूजिक चल रहा है, उस पर आप स्लो पेस डांस कर रहे हैं, तो एक तरीके का इनोवेशन है। तो इस टाइप के आइडियाज मैं इंट्रोड्यूस करना चाहता हूँ जो कि एग्जिस्टिंग इवेंट्स को कंटिन्यू रखते हुए और बाद में आपको फाइनली आप उसको और डिफरेंट पर्सपेक्टिव से करेंगे जिससे जनता का थोड़ा बहुत अट्रैक्शन बढ़ता है। And what was your last one? Off campus stage shows में we have professors who could जो कि अभी ऐसा होता आ रहा है कि ये लोग इनकी ड्राम टीम होती है जिसमें प्रोफेसर लोग डायरेक्टली प्रोफेसर से ये लोग बात करते हैं जो कि इनके ऑफ कैंपस स्टेज शोज के लिए अपॉइंट करते हैं। So what I can do is we can directly call to that organizer and can appoint them because कुछ ऐसे शोज होते हैं जिनके लिए हम लोग को मतलब कुछ ऐसे शोज होते हैं जो कि नॉन प्रॉफिट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन द्वारा प्रमोट किए जाते हैं जस्ट लाइक फॉर द बेटरमेंट ऑफ द सोसाइटी। तो इस तरीके के स्टेज शोज को मैं प्रमोट।
My next question will be to Vipin. Your manifesto code of action is focused around the already actively participating Janta. How do you plan to involve those people who are academically inclined or have some other preoccupations? Assuming they can afford a minimum of 5 hours a week for such activities, that is with 5 hours a week being on the higher side.
So, academically active people. So, the first thing which I focused upon is making my Gymkhana calendar concise. One of the reasons for it was academics. क्योंकि प्रैक्टिकल ग्राउंड्स में अगर देखें तो अभी पीपल ब्लेम कल्चरल काउंसिल की कल्चरल क्लब में जितने लोग इन्वॉल्व रहते हैं उनकी एकेडमिक्स थोड़ी बहुत सफर करती है. So the main reason was involvement for a long time. That's why I made my calendar concise so that everyone gets free in the first month of the semester. Next thing is for people who have only 5 to 6 hours a week. So that is why I am proposing more open mic events. जहाँ पे you'll have to present your innovation on stage. आप किसी क्लब को showcase नहीं कर रहे हो. So whatever you practice inside your rooms, according to your flexible timings, out and the stage is open for everyone. And one more thing for academically active people is that I proposed a new discussion and debate topic. So the main motive behind proposing this club is for the people who are politically active, who are preparing for civil services, and who like to discuss on such topics. That is why I proposed this discussion and debate topic.
Charlie, my question for you is, I have found out the problem in the council that there is a lack of innovation and originality in the events and works done. So how will you ensure that these two things are achieved at their optimum level?
This year, if I get to be the cultural secretary, I have added some points in the manifesto that we are going to have some, for example, let's say the stage is yours. We are going to have some new events and stage is yours. Let's say spelling bee या फिर speed art जैसी चीज़ें जो कि काफ़ी ज़्यादा practice में नहीं है. So ओरिजिनलिटी उसी से आएगी कि हम अगर कुछ डिफरेंट करेंगे और इस बार मैंने जैसे कि मैंने टूल कॉल कराने की बात करी तो बेसिकली उसमें काफ़ी सारी ऐसी चीज़ें जो कि आज से पहले IIT कानपुर में कभी हुई नहीं है. Comic Con से inspired to con जिसमें quiz करवाने can have quizzes on superheroes, movie characters, comic characters, debate. ELS वाले can have debates on who is your favorite comic character. Such things are basically there for originality. लोग आए अपनी costume designing या body art जैसी चीज़ों में participate करें and अपनी originality को show करें.
Vipin, I have the same question for you. I will be repeating my question. The problem that I find out with the council is the lack of innovation and originality in the events and workflow. So how will you ensure that these two things are achieved at their optimum level?
The main problem for innovation is that, practically speaking, till now there is musical extravaganza, drama, dance extravaganza, and all the clubs are organizing their different eves and extravaganza. So the basic purpose of such clubs and such extravaganza is to showcase your own talent. So once if you're going in the club, you'll have to work according to the club coordinators and according to the performances promised by the club. That is why I have proposed these open mic events where you will not be forced or you are not in hands of the club coordinators कि भाई तुम्हें ऐसे ऐसी performances देनी है. Innovate yourself. For example, room पे बैठ के मैंने गिटार पे कोई ट्यून दिखाया. If I'll be performing in musical extravaganza, maybe that tune is used, may not. But performing in an open mic event, I'll go there and I'll perform it. And with this, the clubs will notice more talent, more innovation, and we will be approaching people, not vice versa. So my first question is for Shithit. You mentioned in your manifesto that you will be holding hall level workshops by each club. But according to me, each club takes about 3 to 4 days to conduct a good workshop, and we are having 14 courses. So basically, when do you plan to do these workshops and how?
So my reason for stating the workshops for the hall level was that there are some PGs who couldn't come to the club directly. They wanted to have the PGs in their, they wanted to have the workshops in their hall. So what I am planning that first of all we will be having very elementary workshops for all the PGs in their hall. Then comes the point for the UG hall. In UG hall, the club workshops will be happen only if there is a lack of interest or there is a lack of people who is participating in the club. So if suppose there is a lack of dance people in one particular hall, so we will be having very elementary workshop, and in that workshop, all those people who will be participating in it, they will be they will be asked to participate in the club activities as well, and if their interest pursued, so we can directly we can incorporate them with other activities.
Shani, you mentioned in your manifesto about creating representatives from each PG halls. Basically, what is the main motive of creating such representatives? Because all the PG halls have their cultural secretaries, and I think by creating posts with overlapping responsibilities, you will promote more conflicts.
While I was researching for my manifesto making, I went to Hall 7 and there were people who were saying to me that they want their representative in the council, they want their say in the council. And what I told them was the council is not actively involves PG students because they don't have their representative or they don't know who to approach. हम लोग हमारी विंग्स में एग्जैक्टली पीजी की विंग्स में भी काफी ऐसे लोग होते हैं जो भी काफी अच्छा गाना गाते हैं या फिर काफी अच्छा डांस करते हैं बट दे डोंट नो हाउ टू अप्रोच द काउंसिल और हाउ टू बी अ पार्ट ऑफ इट हाउ टू पार्टिसिपेट इन द इवेंट्स हू टू कॉन्टैक्ट सो द मोटिव ऑफ पीजी रिप्रेजेंटेटिव एंड हॉल वाइज इज the PG representative would serve as a bridge between the cultural council as well as the whole PG community. And he will convey all the message, all the events about the deadlines or any stage shows that we are going to conduct within the council to all the PG community. Because the whole idea is PG students don't have enough time. उनके पास 6 से 7 घंटा देने के लिए नहीं होता. They have to spend their time in labs and academics, so they are not updated with the council activities. So the whole idea of PG representative is to update the PG community with all the activities as well as to motivate them and continue to promote them for participating in the events.
Okay, so the cross questioning is done. We have one individual question for each of the candidates from the Honorable General Secretary of the Cultural Council.
Okay, so all the three questions are not concerning your manifesto. I will be very specific. I'll ask very specific questions. The first question is to Shadi. Given no budget constraint, would you like to organize Freshers Night in main auditorium? And why? Given there is no budget constraint, would you like to organize Freshers Night in main auditorium? And why?
I wouldn't like to organize the freshers in the main auditorium. The reason being, first of all, auditorium does not contain enough space for the whole crowd. Basically, the advantage with using OAD is that you don't have to be you don't have to sit or you are basically free for doing anything. People come there, enjoy to let themselves free. And the whole idea is that कि OAD में काफी जगह है और नीचे खाने के stalls है तो basically to occupy the whole space and to do whatever we want, we have to use OAD as per my use.
Okay, the next question is to Kshitij. Do you know what is the current status of speak faculty in IIT Kanpur and what is the current status of speak making in IIT Kanpur? And what role can cultural council play in speak making? I don't know. Speak making, can you explain it? Okay, Speakmaking is actually an organization that conducts events and workshops under the subsidized rate. We have artists from India, very famous artists, and it generally promotes youth and actually classical culture and Indian culture in India. So the second question is, you have proposed a debating hobby group, right? So how is it different from the MFN? And that is it. So how is it different from the literary club? I mean, people from the literary society can also contribute.
So MUN, as we know that MUN has been developed outside Delhi. We have the 3 day festival from its MUN. So it's a developing concept and it's been focusing more outside our campus. In IIT Kanpur, we have only one competition during Antaragni, and therefore we are not able to focus on this as much as we are about to do. So what I am proposing that we would be having a MUN hobby group starting from day one. We would be appointing coordinators for them, and all those people who are interested in this activity can participate. We can go outside. We can have our representatives in different college festivals, and it's the basic impact of this would be the overall personality development of the students who are participating.
Yeah. So, Vipin, the question is, what are the challenges to organize May lunch in IIT Kanpur? May lunch in IIT May lunch is the inter-IIT quiz competition, which quiz club organizes.
The basic problem in organizing this event in IIT Kanpur.
So the question to you is, what are the issues in organizing Digilab in IIT Kanpur? Digilab is an inter-IIT IIM quiz competition that happens annually. So what are the problems? This is the question.
The one basic problem could be that the location of IIT Kanpur. When we are inviting people from different states of India, first thing is giving accommodation. Second thing is having a good audience for them. So basically, this could be a main reason for not being able to organize.
So we now have a question from the panel. Okay, so this question is for all the three candidates. I would want Vipin to answer first, then Chintan, and then Charlie. Okay? So, can you give an example where organizations under your leadership have performed better than previous year? In case not, what were the reasons for the underperformance?
All the performances in culture council, right? Individual.
Let me clarify. The question is, give an example where the organization under your leadership performed better than last year, and if it didn't, then what were the reasons of the underperformance?
First is dramatic scene one, which dramatic club organized in August. This was the first time we took the street play on the roads. We performed it near the Holborn Gate, and this was the first time in IIT Kanpur history that we were performing a play on the streets actually. And it was raining on that day, but still we had a huge audience seeing our nukkad. And one more thing is that during August there was extended orientation program, and due to GRC there were some restrictions on Gymkhana clubs that we have to reduce the time we use of the first years for preparing the performance. So what we planned is that every day we were taking only 2 hours of first year, 10 to 12 on the weekdays, and we performed the nukkeds on 17th August. Rest of the clubs did not perform their eves and extravaganzas, but Ram Club organized it. And the second thing is where we did not perform better is Antaragni. So the main problem with Antaragni was that we explored much. Is that the topic which we took for our nukkad was dharma. And when we went to talk to the judges said the proposals and the facts you were saying were very intellectual. लेकिन अगर ये नुक्कड़ तुम बाहर की जनता के सामने परफॉर्म करते हो तो दंगे हो सकते हैं. So basically, according to a nukkad, it was not good. And I think the loss in Antaragni gave me the inspiration to stand for cultural secretary because there's a saying that all's well that ends well. अगर सब कुछ अच्छा हो जाता है तो तुम सोचते हो बस सब कुछ सही है. But when something not goes good, then you introspect. And that was the time when we sat and introspect ourselves, and then we came up with such proposals like education tours and making our Gymkhana calendar concise. Thank you.
Under my tenure, we have performed an orientation program. For the first time, Fine Arts Club has come on stage. We haven't done any performance till yet. So for the first time, we have tried the stand art workshop and the stand art and shadow art on the stage. It has gone pretty well. So we have decided to move on to the pressure. In the pressure, we have created the speed art as well as stand art. And most of you may be knowing that it has done so much pretty well. Then we move on to Antaragni. In Antaragni, we have secured second position in one of the events. Irrespective of this, we have painted four wall paintings and have set up an exhibition. This time in the wall painting also we have tried different mediums. So altogether, our whole population was distributed in each of these events. That's why maybe we are not focused only competition specific, but since in altogether performance, if we say we have done pretty well. Then comes the Mood Indigo. We have gone to Mood Indigo and we have won the first and second position in one of its events. Again, it is not that much high level achievement, but still, we haven't won any of the prizes in the last year. So that's why it's a pretty much improvement in our performance. So overall, if I say that I have tried my best to bring the best of my team, and that you can see. Thank you.
Under my tenure, we organized four different workshops. This was the first time in IIT Kanpur. Dance Club basically organized four different workshops. A lot of PG participated in every workshop. And this was ensured by us that we had to take care of things that more PG participation takes place. And this Antaragni also we won two different awards. We won in street dance as well as we won in group dance. We came second in street dance and we came third in the Antaragni group dance. And basically, the only problems that I faced that I realized was the planning of practices, and that's why that also led to the downfall in some of the students' academics. So that's the whole idea. And for that purpose, what we're planning to do is we'll be restricting the practices in the evening, and that's done.
Okay, so we have one question from the audience that is for all three of you. Charlene can answer first, followed by Shivanjan and Vipin. So, the event would become the General Secretary of the Cultural Council. We've seen a general trend of poor performance in academics by the dance and dance club members specifically. So, I mean, this is not obvious, but this is the question. So, due to excessive practice in dance and dance club, so how do you plan to, how do you plan to work to improve that?
Yeah, that's a general trend observed in dance and dramatics club. And when we were making our manifesto, we also faced the same problem that what should we do for the academics and the students. So basically, this all boils down to even lesser participation in the council. So this time, if I become the cultural secretary, I intend to make regular classes and dance classes and music classes for people so that they don't have to devote 5 to 6 hours as well as they can pursue their hobbies. And like I said that we try to limit the practices this year. So we'll be constraining the practices next year also, and from 6:30 to 11:30 or 12 we'll be limiting the practices. And that's how we suppose that we should, because like our experience during my tenure that for 2 months we used to practice for like 5 to 6 hours at the start, and in the first month there was actually nothing happening. फालतू में discussions और सिर्फ बातें करने में वो स्टार्टिंग वाला पहला महीना निकल जाता है और the real practice starts from the second month or 10 days back, 10 days from the competition. So what I intend to do is we'll give a deadline to an event so that it also will reduce the flexibility of the events. कि डांस में चांस या फिर डांस एक्स्ट्रावेगेंजा अगर इस दिन कराना है तो उसे इसी दिन कराना है, उसकी डेडलाइन है और उसकी प्रैक्टिसेस 1 महीने पहले इस दिन चालू होंगी ताकि स्टार्टिंग का जो 1 महीना होता है वो फालतू में वेस्ट ना हो और फालतू की प्रैक्टिसेस में या फिर डिस्कशन में टाइम बच्चे वेस्ट ना करें और पढ़ाई करें.
I would be focusing first of all on the number of events which has been done in these two clubs. First of all, just like in dance extravaganza and dance. What we can do, we can have some original ideas. What we can have some innovative concept. Just like that, there is not need to be 10 to 12 performances. Only 4 to 5 performances with some innovative touch can be well enough. Then comes the interclub activity. We can pursue more, just like in dramatics. What the problem is with them is that they took around 1 to 2 months for the preparation of the draft. So what we can do, we can ask the other clubs, just like KLS and HLS, to prepare a transcript for them, and they can enact on it. So promoting interclub activities and reducing the number of events that the club is organizing. I can concise the problem of not having the good CPI engine.
Cats of the club participants was the first thought which came to my mind when I became the dramatics club coordinator. So I'll tell you, during my tenure, all the first years involved in Tram Eve and Antaragni had a relatively good CPI. One of them scored a 9.6, one of them was 8.5. So basically, our cats were already mine, and that came because of professionalism, which I target. Uh, I think the main answer to this question is less number of events and professional events. That is why I proposed a concise calendar, reducing the number of events in the cultural council. I'm clubbing Rami, dance extravaganza, musical extravaganza, so that the time and effort involved of the students becomes less and we get professional performances. The next is open mic events. Since we are going to organize less number of events, we should have these open mic events so that we can see the innovation of all the students. And having these open mic events will provoke less involvement of the students as they will not be coming to club for practice. They will be practicing in their rooms and will be performing on open mic events. Therefore, less involvement, better attendance.
I am Dr. and the testing for the course of presidency which you have. My vision for this course is to create a campus which emphasizes on three things: efficiency, excellence, and enterprise. I believe that by focusing on efficiency, we can make way for excellence, and it is this excellence that should evoke the enterprise within us. I have a vision to create a holistic atmosphere which comprises of these three things. And if we are able to do so, then we can visualize a scenario where IIT Kanpur is making a mark on the global landscape across all the spheres. Some of the main points of the manifesto are: number one, Center for Development of Soft Skills. Students generally face the problem of soft skills at the time of placement and internship. This has been the general feedback from the companies that have come to recruit from IIT Kanpur. However, the financial constraints do not permit us to have a full-fledged workshop system. A committee has already been formed at the institute level for CDSS, and this committee has shortlisted several companies, but the tender process is yet to start. I will ensure that the tender process is completed as soon as possible so that the workshop can start taking place in the next semester for at least those students who will be sitting for the placement and internship. Coming to the next point of placement. The main problem in placement is that students generally do not get good guidance and mentorship. For this, I propose a structure similar to the student-led structure under SPU. In this structure, the students who are already placed will guide and mentor the junior batch for resume preparation and company profile selection. Coming to infrastructure development. In recent years, the number of students in IIT Kanpur has significantly increased, which has led to various problems related to infrastructure, especially library. During examination, library is overcrowded and students do not get proper space to study. For this, I propose a satellite library system. Just like the reading room of Hall 2 has been converted into mini library, similarly, the reading rooms of the other hall will be converted into mini libraries. This will increase the convenience of the student, and also the load on library will decrease. Coming to academics, which is the foremost priority of this institute. Under the new ARCs, many new facilities have been provided to us, like double majors and minors. But students are unaware of this. Academic Affairs Cell, which is under the Presidential Council, shall hold department-specific sessions in which the students will be told about the advantages, and opportunities that they can get from that department. And after the students have all the information, then only they can make an informed decision. The current strength of double major is quite low due to faculty and capacity constraints. It shall be my agenda to avail double major to a larger section of students. For this, I propose that if some of the seats for double major can be opened after the third or maybe the fourth semester, then the load on faculty can be distributed evenly. Entrepreneurship carries a large weightage in terms of academics in many foreign universities. If a similar type of structure in the form of minor in entrepreneurship can be introduced in IIT Kanpur, then it can be an incentive for those students who want to pursue their career as an entrepreneur. What we need is a global exposure to the students of IIT Kanpur. Which brings me to my next point of international relations then. Our institute provides us a provision that 25% of
coordinate with the IRC and push for more ties with the foreign universities so that more and more maximum number of students can avail benefit from this opportunity. Similar kind of ties can be done with foreign faculties also. Specialized courses can be made available here in which the foreign faculties teaches through the facility of video conferencing and the TAs and tutors will be from IIT Kanpur. So this can be an advantage for the students who will be taking this course as well as for the TAs and tutors because they will get a chance to interact with the foreign faculty. In the past 3 years, I've been involved in many Chilhana activities. I was the acting president in summers for 2 months. I'm currently the KOSHA convener. KOSHA is the standing committee of Senate which looks after all the hostel related issues. I'm also a violence senator and have been a part of various committees inside and outside the Senate. I've worked on the whole education policy from the beginning to its implementation. I was also an active council member and been participated in many intra-hall and intra-hall activities. If you think I'm the right candidate, please vote for me because I'm standing because of you and for you.
Hi, myself Dev Katyar. I am doing here PhD in mechanical engineering. I have few visions because we have only 1 year tenure. So first vision is to emphasize the research, which is more because our institute is knowing as a research institute also. So my vision is I include more UG students in the research, so that they can place in a good and core companies also. And I also look forward the renovation and sanitation of the institute of various buildings because one of the our auditorium which is not in a good condition this time. This is since last I saw this is since last 4 years. This is not renovated. And also my vision is to cut up the gap between the UGs and PGs by interacting in the various academic interaction and in research also. So UG and PG relationship, I also want to increase not too much, but at least 10% because this time there is no UG-PG relationship. So this, I think this relationship helps a lot in the field of placement, research, or higher studies of UG student also. In academics, I have not so many goals, but I have the basic goal which is every student of IIT K is required because these basic steps help not in the career prospects or some academic or other issues. So in academic, I want to first the basic problem of every student in the IIT K is the registration process. There is very hectic registration processes in our institute. So I want to reduce this hecticness and also I want to propose the R&D services comes in the under of initially under S&T councils and after that we can make is a separate portal of R&D cell. In this cell, every UG student who want to work in the project also help and also get some money because we get projects from the various companies like Tata Motors or IFCL R&Ds or GAIL R&Ds because they have lots of project, small project. If every UG or PG candidate handle these projects and get some money. And also I want to emphasize on the portal of PG student like in जैसे हम अभी सर्च करते हैं इन फॉरेन यूनिवर्सिटी में प्रोफेसरों की प्रोफाइल को तो इसी तरीके की प्रोफाइल आई आल्सो वांट टू इन put in our website also for PG student. So in this portal we can put all the research of PG student and which area every student can contact that student also. And one more thing. student of our institute is the webmail ID. I want to propose to this in CCC because ID is your identity after the in future also after the no use. So I want to propose that your webmail ID is connected by your email client. So you can get your ID if you anyone can mail to you in future also. You can get your mail and also you can see. And in health sector, I want to more basic thing कि medical reimbursement जो 500 से ऊपर है वो हमारा within a week हो जाए इसको करने के लिए more exercise है और दूसरा placement issue पे अगर हम अपने alumni
Take 15 seconds.
in placement also I want to because India is a growing R&D hub, so we can contact to every R&D hub and we can call to all R&D hubs, so we can get good placement and multi placement of new CPC and especially PhD. So thank you for listening.
We'll go on to the cross-sectional questions now. So let's start with Ravi Madam. Please ask the question.
Jitinder, in your manifesto, you have proposed for computer labs, 50 computers approximately, in PG hostels so that they do not have to stay late in lab. But there is a large section in UGs, especially first year right, who face the same problem. So why not cover UGs as well? And also, how do you plan to procure the funds and infrastructure for it?
Yeah, thanks for this question. I want to because अभी मैंने जो प्लान किया है कि एटलीस्ट 50 कंप्यूटर्स हम पीजीज में लगाएंगे बिकॉज पीजी स्टूडेंट्स आर मोर वर्किंग इन द रिसर्च और अगर हमारा फ्यूचर में हमें और भी फंड मिलेगा तो हम यूजीज के लिए उसको पहले एक स्टेप में हम पीजीज में देखते हैं कि क्या प्रॉब्लम आती है और हमारा सक्सेस होता है देन हम यूजी फर्स्ट ईयर में भी इसको प्लान कर रहे हैं कि एटलीस्ट करेंगे इसे और ये विदाउट आई कैन नॉट डू विदाउट द हेल्प ऑफ वाटर और एटीसी मेंबर्स इन एवरी हॉस्टल सो आई प्रपोज टू दिस थिंग्स in front of order and ATC members to do such type of things.
Okay, thank you. Now, Jitendra, you can ask the question.
I want to just ask you one question that is very important regarding the placement of PG students.
जनरली हम ऑब्जर्व किए जैसे कि जो प्लेसमेंट ऑफिस होता है एसपीओ हमारा उनमें जो ओबीसीज बनते हैं वो अगर 4 है तो उनमें से 3 जो होते हैं बीटेक के लिए होते हैं और एक एमटेक होता है मोस्टली तो what I will try to do if I become the president I will try to increase the number of OBCs because पिछले 3-4 साल से 4 ही OBCs बनते आए हैं और जो नंबर ऑफ स्टूडेंट्स है जो प्लेसमेंट के लिए बैठे हैं वो काफ़ी बढ़ गए हैं उनके वर्कलोड ज़्यादा बढ़ रहा है जिसकी वजह से एफिशिएंसी कम हो रही है उन OBCs को बढ़ा के उनमें से एक OBC ऐसा होगा जो या पीएचडी का होगा ताकि वो स्पेसिफिकली पीएचडी प्लेसमेंट पर वर्क कर सके ताकि पीएचडी प्लेसमेंट और इम्प्रूव हो सके
Okay, so the cross questioning is done, and now the esteemed president of Student Khana will ask one question to each of the candidates.
Siddharth, thanks for that. Okay. So the first question is for Abhimanyu. Means we know that this year in the placements there were a lot more students will be registering for the placement because we have COVID days to have had no dual degrees. So this year, what will be your plan of action immediately as you become the president to tackle this problem in December? The second part is that we have seen that there are a lot of questions and queries that is students have for placement for SPO, but they are not able to they are not entertained properly, and that's why we see things like updates on Quora, which sends a very bad image of IIT Kanpur as well as SPO. So, what will be your steps to make SPO more transparent as a district?
To answer your first part, my immediate action will be on the first of the CDSS. I will try to make sure that the CDSS workshop starts from the next semester as soon as possible in students come, so that the problem of soft skills is resolved. Also, I will try to coordinate with the marketing team of TechCity, because in TechCity many of the sponsors are related to technical and consulting fields, and many of them are enthusiastic to recruit from IIT Kanpur. I will try to work on them so that we do not miss any of the opportunities, whether it might be a single company or whether it might be 10 companies. I don't want to miss on any single placement.
Second part.
In the second part, I will try to focus like.
Want me to input the question?
Yeah.
Basically, the problem is a lot of questions, a lot of students have a problem and they have certain queries for the SPO, which sometimes it happens that there is a common perception that they are not entertained properly. And that's why we see that there are status of Quora or Facebook, which is looked by the whole, everybody sees that. Okay? So this sends a very bad image of IIT Kanpur, because this is a bad marketing of IIT Kanpur. In order to stop these things so that these problems are entertained properly, as a president, what will you do?
इसके लिए जैसे अभी प्लेसमेंट के वक्त प्लेसमेंट का एक पोर्टल बना था पास का, उसी टाइप का अगर हम पोर्टल बना सके जहाँ पे लोग अपनी क्वेरीज डाल सके, अपडेट कर सके आईटी के इंटरनल सर्वर पे, ताकि लोगों को वहीं पे सारी इन्फॉर्मेशन मिलती रहे और वो रेगुलरली उसके ऊपर अच्छा काम रेगुलरली जो भी रिलेटेड लोग हैं वो रेगुलरली उस पर अपडेट्स करते रहें, तो लोगों को बाहर कोरा पे ये चीज़ें पोस्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं पड़ेगी और फिर जो बैड मार्केटिंग का है वो प्रॉब्लम नहीं आएगी.
This solution goes for Mr. Nitin. Being a president, you will formulate one education policy. Last year, the one education policy we placed a 12 institution in UP hostels like 1, 2, 3, 5, and 10, and 1 and 11. So this year, what will be your steps to what will be your contingency plan to solve this problem? Which I'm pretty much sure that we'll face this year about again. That there will be a lot of students, more incoming students, and that's all. That we have less rooms to accommodate, means there are more students and less rooms to accommodate. There is a crunch situation always that we face every year, but this year again, this problem will actually increase. So what is your guidance?
और इस जो मैंने सोच रखा है कि जैसे कि हमारे रूम्स की अवेलेबिलिटी हर हॉस्टल में कम है, उसका रीज़न ये है कि हमारा जो एक्सटेंडेड स्टूडेंट हैं हमारे पीएचडी के और पीजी के जो है एक्सटेंडेड स्टूडेंट हैं, हम उनसे रिक्वेस्ट करेंगे कि एटलीस्ट वो टाइप 5 में हम उन्हें शिफ्ट करें और ताकि हम जो नए स्टूडेंट आ रहे हैं उन्हें हम हॉस्टल प्रोवाइड कर सकें. और without a request we cannot do this thing और maybe इसी तरीके से हम ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर सकते हैं.
And this one question is for both of you. So first, Jitin Raman, second, Abhimanyu. Basically, ACP, Element Contact Program, it was with DORA right now. There is a perception among the students, a majority of students, that it is not working up to its full potential. Do you think that bringing ACP under student Gymkhana, making it answerable to the students in it, will it work? Or in case if it does not, then what will be your steps to improve the current status?
Yeah, I also saw this alumni contact program website. This is not updated अभी तक अपडेट नहीं हुई है हमारी एसीपी वेबसाइट. हमेशा करंटली बेसिस पे जैसे कि हमारे पीजी अभी जा रहे हैं और वो कहाँ पर जा रहे हैं उसके बाद फ्यूचर में हम उनसे कांटेक्ट बहुत कम कर पाते हैं, हम पूरी तरीके से कांटेक्ट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं और इफिशिएंसी हमारी जो एसीपी की है वो इस समय बहुत अच्छी नहीं है. सो वी कैन इम्प्रूव दिस इफिशिएंसी टू ACP also, and ACP is I think so ACP helps lot in the placement also.
So, Arvind, just open size.
मुझे लगता है कि अगर पीसीपी को हम जिमखाना के अंदर लाएंगे तो वो और बेटर काम नहीं कर पाएगा, क्योंकि अभी अगर हम उसको स्टूडेंट सेनेट के आंसर लेवल बना देंगे तो मोस्टली लोग जो होते हैं, पहले तो मोस्टली लोग को जो कॉलिंग करने की एक पे मिलती है। स्टूडेंट जिमखाना के बजट की वैसी प्रॉब्लम्स रहती है, तो वो पे को भी हम डील नहीं कर पाएंगे। तो तब तक अगर वो चीज़ हटाते हैं तो बहुत सारे जो वॉलंटियर्स हैं वो काम करना बंद कर देंगे, तो उसकी वजह से जो लेवल है वो और कम हो जाएगा।
Now, this is second question. Now, Arvind, you will answer first, then Jiten. DORD has a lot of projects. Basically, are getting a lot of projects from the industry, and then they are given to the students during the semester so that they can gain physical, this academically and financially. Like we had going and we had a New York project. Now, what will you do to increase the frequency of these projects for all the students in general, and especially for the UG students who are, as told by Professor Ajit Chaturvedi, ex-DORD, that even a second year student is very competent enough to handle these projects. But right now, we don't have such frequency of these projects among the UG students. So, what will you do?
इस चीज़ के लिए अगर हम एकेडमिक अफेयर्स का यूज़ करके स्टूडेंट्स में अवेयरनेस फैला सकें कि ये जो, क्योंकि अभी स्टूडेंट्स की जनरली परसेप्शन वही होती है कि ये तो इंडस्ट्रियल प्रोजेक्ट है, हमने तो कोई डिपार्टमेंटल कोर्स किया नहीं है, तो हम ये इसको हैंडल नहीं कर पाएंगे, यहाँ पे एक्स्ट्रा लोड आ जाएगा। अगर हम एकेडमिक अफेयर्स का यूज़ करके ये अवेयरनेस फैला सकें कि ये जो परसेप्शन है अभी करंटली स्टूडेंट्स में वो गलत है और उसको सही आइडिया दे सकें, तो स्टूडेंट्स इंटरेस्टेड होंगे उसमें। इट्स ओनली अबाउट हाउ यू make the students aware of these things.
इस पॉइंट पे मैं कहना चाहूँगा कि if we talk to students just talk and get the project list and spread overall all the student community in IIT. So if any student want to work in this area, so any student can work like that if they are interested in the field of power grid or some sensors or tribology field or some other fields. So they can contact directly to that professor. So this thing help a lot कि हम डोरा से ले हम डीन ऑफ रिसर्च एकेडमिक से लेके लिस्ट जो प्रोफेसरों के प्रोजेक्ट की है हम स्टूडेंट लिस्ट में डाल दें, देन हम उसे स्प्रेड करके देन स्टूडेंट डायरेक्टली कांटेक्ट टू दैट प्रोफेसर, दिस कैन हेल्प लॉट। थैंक यू।
Okay, so we have one question from the panel over here.
This question is for Abhimanyu. Abhimanyu, as the dual major program is supposed to be 5 years, and you are suggesting that its initialization should take place during the third or fourth semester. This is a question from the audience actually, which I am rephrasing. Is it clearly logical that when a student is undergoing some foundation courses during his second year, he should focus on some other stream besides his parent stream? So basically, a related question, just answer the whole thing in one go. That is, during the third and fourth semester, it's too early for a student to choose. That was the idea. So do you believe that it's too early, third or fourth semester? And if not, why?
I don't believe that it is too early for a student to choose, because the branches also happen after the second, third, and fourth semester. So, if a person has to do branches, then also he has to choose at an earlier stage. And also, moreover, before coming to IIT Kanpur, 90% of the students, the branch which they choose is not their basically their first preference. Most of them has some other priorities also. Like in third and fourth semester, I would not agree with the fact that it will be too early. And besides that, in some departments, like for example computer science, CS is the basic course, and without that you cannot do any other courses. If the double major is after the fifth semester, then the person can do data structure only the seventh semester, because it is offered only in the odd semester. तो सेवेंथ सेमेस्टर से पहले फिफ्थ सेमेस्टर का मिल जाएगा, सिक्स सेमेस्टर में डबल मेजर, लेकिन सिक्स सेमेस्टर में वो कोई कोर्स कर नहीं पाएगा। ये
Hello. This is to Jitendra. This question which I'm asking is based on the popular sentiments among the audiences here. Many people have asked us this question that why didn't you campaign in several halls? I mean, in most of the halls. Why didn't you campaign in most of the halls? Because I think that every candidate which contests for any of the posts for Gymkhana elections want people to know about his mission and vision as much as possible. But why didn't you utilize this opportunity?
Thanks for this question. एक्चुअली जो टाइम कंस्ट्रेंट है मेरे पास और मेरी कंपनी की लिस्ट इतनी ज़्यादा बड़ी नहीं थी 7 स्टूडेंट आई है कंपनी लिस्ट इन लिस्ट और मैं खुद पर्सनली हर हॉस्टल में गया हूँ लेकिन एक दिन में इतना ज़्यादा कवर कर पाना बहुत मुश्किल टास्क था क्योंकि एक दिन में कम से कम नहीं तो 1.5 घंटा लगता था किसी को समझाने के लिए एटलीस्ट वो क्वेश्चन क्वेश्चन जब तक इवन एवरीबॉडी जब तक कोई सेटिस्फाई नहीं होगा तब तक आई कैन नॉट लीव दैट बीइंग आल्सो so in online I approximately I spent 5 hours in total 120 rooms and all 11 I also expect 7 hours for campaigning because there are 480 rooms and everybody wants to clarify all these things. Time constraint is very much. So within 3 or 4 days, I cannot visit all the hostels, but I visit most of the hostels in the IIT except that all one, all two, all three, and GS Tower because I have less time constraint. That's why I cannot visit. Sorry for that, and I cannot visit your hostels. So for these things, please really sorry. Any other question?
We just have two questions from the audience over here. First one is for Jitendra Katyar. How are you planning to increase the number of doctors in the health sector? If you plan to increase the number of doctors in the health sector.
अभी हमारे पास जो कंस्टेंट है वहाँ पर हेल्थ सेंटर में कि बहुत ज़्यादा भीड़ हो जाती है और हमारे स्टूडेंट अगर बाई चांस कोई क्लास है समथिंग क्या है थिंग्स है तो वहाँ पर हमारे डॉक्टर्स की अवेलेबिलिटी काफ़ी कम है तो इनिशियली आई प्लान दैट कि हम अभी 2 या 3 डॉक्टर्स को इंक्रीज करें और उससे और दूसरी थिंग है कि हमारा जो डिस्पेंसरीज है एक हॉस्टल में हमने अभी ओपन किया हॉस्टल में सो आई ऑल्सो वांट टू प्रपोज दिस थिंग एज प्रेसिडेंट जिमखाना कि अदर हॉस्टल्स में भी हमारी डिस्पेंसरीज लगाई जाए जिससे कि हमारा एटलीस्ट रस कम हो जाए हेल्थ सेंटर्स में दिस इज द बेस्ट वे कैन डू
The second question is for Abhimanyu Arora. Each year, several students get terminated. What kind of role, that is, would it be a soft or a supportive or a completely, biased role that you will have when such termination cases come in the Senate, the academic Senate? What kind of a role would you have?
If I get elected, I will be elected from the student body. I will definitely have a soft corner from the students. I'll try to fight for those cases so that those students can get a only for those students who are whose cases are genuine. I will try to fight for those cases in the academic senate, maybe whatever the SPGC or the academic senate.
What kind of a stand would you take, Jitendra, if you were to become president as far as the termination cases in the academic senate are concerned?
Yeah, if I become a president, so I think कि जो सभी स्टूडेंट जो प्रायोरिटीज है प्रायोरिटाइज बाई वी कैन हैंडल all these things because the termination grading termination problems or CFPs and grading is very much important for that those students who have at least nervous sometimes nervous or sometimes other things happen in their life so I can prioritize all these things and put into the CNET that we at least forcefully I can put it that we can at least we can give one chance to that student because if any student comes in this institute, they have ability to stand, but unfortunately they couldn't anything because some environmental effect or some other things affect his academics. So at least I can forcefully to say student we at least give a one chance to that student because I think they have some capabilities. That's why they are in IIT Kanpur. Thanks, thanks a lot for listening.
Yeah, thank you for coming. Please vote on the 18th. Every vote counts. And yeah, peace out.
अतुल तिवारी का तो नहीं फिर मैं आ जाता हूँ अगर मैं आ जाता हूँ उसको ऑनलाइन बुला लेते हैं ना फिर हाँ आप ऑनलाइन बुला लो ना फिर उन पे बुला लो जैसे काउंसिल सर्वे हो रही थी